Hello everyone and welcome back. In earlier video we saw how to set up the Kabanero pipelines and all the prerequisites for it. Now let's get to the demo. I'll quickly try to go through the pipeline run workflow for which I will be demoing. What are we trying to achieve here? We have our OpenShift cluster and we have the GitHub repository project which we created, which is the Java microprofile project. Now, the end goal is to build and deploy this application onto our Kubernetes platform. So, for first point, we give the GitHub resource as an input to our OpenShift cluster. Second resource we give to the OpenShift cluster is the container registry, where the container image will be pushed by the build task. Then we try to run the pipeline run, which will initiate the Kabanero pipeline inside the OpenShift cluster. The Kabanero pipeline will be related to one of the collection, and in our case, it is Java microprofile collection. This will begin the build task pod in our Kubernetes platform. The build task pod will try to pull the GitHub repository code which we have, and it will try to build the project, and once the project is ready, the container image will be created. That container image will be pushed to the container registry which we gave at the beginning. Once that is completed, deploy task pod will be generated. Deploy task pod will pull that container image which was stored in the container registry, and using that it will try to deploy our application inside an application pod. Once the application pod is running healthy, we can get the URL for the application pod and try to run it on the browser. This is how the Kabanero pipeline run will help us to build and deploy our project and get it run on the application pod in our cluster. Step 1 of the demo is you need to clone this Kabanero-pipelines repository onto your cluster. And you can do that by git space clone space this. I have already run this, so I won't run it again. I will show you the directory which I have already cloned for this demo. I will go inside this folder, and here you will see there is a pipelines folder. If I go inside the pipelines folder, I will see that we have common, incubator, and experimental. We are interested in two folders, common and incubator. Let's go inside common folder. Here you will see there is a file called pv.yaml. That means there is a persistence volume, and that is a prerequisite. So in order to apply the file, we will use this command, and it says it is created. Once you apply the pv.yaml file, next prerequisite is you need to set up a Docker secret. For that, if you see under the common folder, you will have a Docker secret template file. What you need to do is you need to update that file with your username and your password for your Docker Hub repository. So for my case, I created this file out of the template, and I updated my username, and I have not shown the password, but I had created this and applied it earlier. So once you are ready with this Docker secret file, you need to run a command to apply. Now I have already ran that, so I won't run it again. Once we have applied the Docker secret to our cluster, now there is a next step to tell the service account that we have this Docker secret. So service account is something which is already installed for you for running the pipeline runs. To edit that, you have to run this command, and once you edit there, you have to go at the very bottom and you have to add your secret name here this way, and you have to save that file. This way you're telling the Kabanero operator service account the Docker Hub secret so that they can push the image to that Docker Hub. Now we are fully ready to execute our pipeline run. Currently we are under the common folder. We have to go one step back, and then we have to go inside the incubator folder, and then we have to go inside the. Now if you see this file, Java microprofile pipeline resources, here we are telling there are two pipeline resources. One is the Docker image, where we would like to place the image after the build task is completed. So we give the Docker Hub repository with our ID and whatever image name we want to give. And the second pipeline resource we are telling the cluster is Git source, where we have kept our Java microprofile project in the GitHub. Now we will apply this pipeline resource file to the cluster using this command oc apply. And this shows that both the resources has been created. Now the next thing is another template file called manual pipeline run template file. Here you just need to give the collection name of which pipeline you will be running, and you have to make the changes at both the places here. In order to save time, I already created a pipeline run for my Java microprofile where I gave the name and again here so that this pipeline will get run when we run the pipeline run. In order to apply this file, we will do oc apply -f and pipeline run, and the pipeline run is created. Once the pipeline is created, you can run this command and you will see that a new pod is come up with java-microprofile name, which is a build task pod. So in order to check out the logs for this pod, we'll try to copy the pod name and we'll try to run the command this. If you see, it has been downloading all the dependencies and building our Java microprofile project. I will stop the recording for now till this gets over. Now the build task is run successfully. If you see this, the build was successful, and finally it says that it was able to successfully push the image to our repository. In this case, now we have to go to Docker Hub and check whether our image is already pushed. But before that, let's see which all pods has got created. So another pod comes up which is for the deploy task. Now I came here on Docker Hub repository and logged in with my ID. If you see under the repository image which was created just 2 minutes ago because of the pipeline run we ran, and to confirm the image name, this is the image. So it was successfully pushed to the Docker Hub, and this deploy task will now be deploying it as a new pod. So let's check oc gets pod. So once the deploy is completed, you will see another pod comes up for our application, and it is in the running status. In order to access our application in this pod, we can run oc get routes. If you see this, it has given us a link, whatever the link URL is, and you can use that URL and hit into the browser. This is the output of our Java microprofile template project. This means our pipeline run was successful and our application is built and deployed onto the OpenShift cluster. Now, in case of any issues, if you need to troubleshoot after the pipeline run was failed, what you can do is you can run a command oc get pipeline runs. This command will give you all the pipeline runs you have run in the past. For now, if you see, I have only one pipeline run and that is in succeeded status. If there is any issue, it will show a failure here. In that case, you can use the pipeline run name after the / and give -o YAML. This will give you the details of the failure. Sometimes it happens that the pods doesn't come up in case of any issues. In that case, the above command is very helpful because you won't see any pods, so you won't be able to see any logs for the pods directly. But you can view the pipeline runs and see the YAML content which shows the status. Now, after a successful pipeline run, if you need to run the same pipeline again, and if you want to clear out the earlier pipeline runs, we can use the command to delete the pipeline runs. The command is, however, please consider that this will delete all your pipeline runs. Similarly, if you want to clear out all the application runs which was started by the earlier pipeline runs, you can run this command. This will again delete all the applications inside your cluster. So now if I say oc get pods, if you observe, it has deleted the build task and the deploy task pods. If you see, it didn't find any Rhapsody application, and it also deleted this application pod for us. That's how you can clear out all the pods. And that is the end of our pipeline run workflow demo, where we saw how we use the pipeline run to build and deploy our application from the GitHub repository into our Kubernetes platform. And then we finally saw the application running in the browser. Thank you.